All right, everyone. Thank you for sticking with me. I'm really excited. I have a special interview that I'm bringing to all of you guys right now. It's my man, Jermaine Sanders. I've known Jermaine for many, many years. We go back in the minor league, semi-pro football world where, he's been an owner. I've been an owner. We, competed, we collabed. So, he's a great brother. Now, he's doing arena football where he's the co-owner with the Jersey Bearcats Arena Football. So I want you guys to, sit back and enjoy and welcome him to the show. So Jermaine, thank you for taking the time to do this with me. How you doing, brother?
I'm good. I'm blessed, man. Thank you for having me. I appreciate you.
Oh, it's my pleasure. It's my pleasure, man. I'm always there for you, and just like I know you're always there for me.
Absolutely.
So, but what I do here is, as I gave you a little briefing, this is part of the show. It's Coach Ed's Read and Attack sports show. So we bring this to a regional, national audience through the Shadow Worlds Radio. So fans are going to get to know you. You're going to pick up some new fans. So, and they're going to get to know you and what you do, and we could just take it from there. So, um, my first question is, when did you first get involved in sports, whether as a player, as a coach, whatever?
Well, I'll say it all starts with, early childhood,
Mhm.
from, picking the equipment out of the toy box and, hanging out with some friends and just kind of getting a feel of, what comes natural or what draws you to that particular sport. And for me, it was always football and baseball.
Okay, okay, all right. That's well. In terms of football and baseball, who got you started in each aspect? I'm gonna start with playing. Who got you started with playing first?
I think it was just, with, kids around my age, picking up the ball and, learning how to toss it and learning how to catch it, some of those fundamentals. And then just, playing it every day, just about. And then, and then it stems into, being a little bit more competitive. So then
Hmm.
you may have to step your game up a little bit. So,
Hmm.
I got into that with street tackle football or playing in the
Hmm.
park. And
Hmm.
you remember those days on the hard concrete. So that's how
Hmm.
became a little bit more comfortable with the game, and having a better feel of the competition and
Hmm.
your skills as well. So I
Hmm.
would definitely give it up to playing at an early age, and then playing a little bit more structured after moving up to high school.
Okay. Did you ever do any type of coaching?
I did. I did for the youth. In my last couple of years of undergrad, I
Hmm.
actually coached a little bit in the middle school with girls basketball,
Mm.
girls softball, and in high school, I coached with the freshman team in high school, Long Branch High School.
Okay. Who got you interested into coaching?
Well, I looked at it like this, you either have to have that natural born talent or you have to be able to increase your skill level. And, unfortunately, I didn't have it. So within the genes in that regard to, hopefully, one day make it to the pros, that was ultimately my dream. But,
Hmm.
obviously, as you get older and, you play through high school and into college, it gets more competitive. Same thing all the way up to the NFL. You knew that. So
Hmm.
I just looked at it from another aspect. Like maybe I have a little something to give back to these
Hmm.
young bucks, and if I can reach that one, maybe that one, can teach others, and so on and so forth. So that's how I look at it, and just being able to give back. So if I can't get out there and do what I love, I might as well do the next best thing and be able to take some of my knowledge of the game and give it back to some of these young bucks. Because, at the time when I played in college, well, actually, when I went to college, we didn't have a football program, so to speak.
Hmm.
But a couple years later, we did. But just before that, I was, playing around, pick up football, and I tore
Hmm.
my ACL and my MCL. So, late junior year, going into my senior year, and now they got the program.
Hmm.
Uh, for me, it wasn't a good look. I mean, I'm only going to play one, maybe if two, if I'm lucky. But
Hmm.
it just wasn't there. The feeling wasn't right. You know what I mean? I didn't want to kind of re-injure the knee and have another, major setback. So, again, this was, next up for me. God had other plans for me, and that was coaching, and then obviously later on pursuing ownership in minor league sports. So.
Okay. Being that you transitioned from, the coaching into the management ownership, what were like how many teams or what teams were you in the management side, in the business side of, because I remember meeting you through the I think it was the New York, New Jersey Fire, if I'm not mistaken.
Right, right. But before that was actually the Jersey Cinder. It was
Cincinnati, right?
so not sure if you remember, but I would say about 2001, 2002, I created the Jersey Cinder or Jersey
Hmm.
City Cinder of where I'm from,
Hmm.
Jersey City. Shout out to Jersey City,
Hmm.
Chilltown. So so back then it was something new, something fresh for the town
Hmm.
of Jersey City.
Hmm.
They haven't had semi-pro football in many, many years. At the time, I had a coach by the name of Coach Frank, and he played all the way back with the Jersey Oaks and a
Hmm.
few other teams back then. And I brought him on. We had some great ideas, and he was the head coach there. And plus, he had a good knack for the line. And
Hmm.
from there, we just started picking up a little bit more, and then finally made the announcements of tryouts, and we had some great numbers for the tryouts. At that time, I got the backing from the city.
Hmm.
God rest his soul, Mayor Glenn Cunningham,
Hmm.
and God rest his soul too, Dr. Charlie Epps of the Jersey City superintendent of the public schools there. So we had good backing and the Jersey City Recreation. So we try to get it all together, and unfortunately, it didn't come about with certain capital and certain, promises that the city
Hmm.
made and support financially of not having to take on such a burden with a lot of different expenses, as when it comes to
Hmm.
having a team. So we didn't get it off the ground per se, but eventually, a few months later, I met a young lady from Harlem. She had a team. She was going through her struggles, and then we sat down and merged and called it the New York, New Jersey Fire. So we had a good mix of New Jersey and New York players that brought a lot of talent to the team. And thereafter, unfortunately, things tend to break down when you have a partnership. Um, so I parted ways with her, and then I gave it another year or two before I reemerged again. And then, at least with that point in time, I would say about 2004, things started picking up a little bit. And then finished out probably around 2009, I would say. So we had a
Hmm.
good, decent run with a couple of leagues. We had some, couple good seasons. Some were, you know, um, better than others, but
Hmm.
I looked at it as a learning experience and said, you know what, maybe it's time to shut down. And
Hmm.
then years later, eventually the Bearcats were formed. So that's where
Um,
we're
no,
at.
I get you. It's a long journey. I definitely understand. I've been there, so I know exactly what you're
Absolutely.
talking about. So, well, being that you were a player, a coach, even into management, who do you feel that was your biggest influence in each aspect to help you, through your journey, through your pathway here?
Well, I would say probably player wise, a player that I emulated a lot. I mean, there was a lot of players, but one that stood out was Dion Primetime Sanders.
Hmm. Hmm.
Although I didn't have the athleticism, I emulated him through other
Hmm.
things.
Hmm.
So but I didn't make his kind of money. So, but it was a learning experience. I still love him to this day. You know what I mean? He's doing some great things. And he's really turning the page for young African Americans to
Hmm.
hopefully, stand out from HBCU schools, going into the NFL or some of the other pro leagues, as you know. So,
Hmm.
I would say coaching wise, I think I would probably have to say when I was in college, a little bit of my college coach there, and maybe a mixture of the high school coach at Long Branch. So, they had different styles and all, but the one thing they had in common was, you know, um, great programs and
Hmm.
great coaching staff and great talent on the field. And as you continue to grow, you pick and scoop up different ideas and different traits over your years of playing, coaching, or just watching, and that develops into some great things for you down the road. So.
Hmm. Okay.
Let me just point out, I was never a head coach,
Hmm.
but I enjoyed the positional side of coaching, and that was linebackers and receivers. So I'm
Okay.
working my way up just in case, if my partner ever wants to retire, maybe I can step
Mhm.
in a little bit. But now he's doing a great job with our program, and we've had some great seasons along the way in our 4 year existence. So,
Mhm.
um, hats off to him.
No, I understand, and look, coaching is coaching, whether you're a head coach, coordinator, or a position coach. I've done them all. So, there are different points to it, but I get where you're going. So, and, you have the mindset to be a head coach if you ever get there. So I don't doubt that. So,
Hopefully in this lifetime.
so when you played in high school, what position did you play? Was it linebacker? Was it defensive back? Or was it receiver? Because I know you mentioned linebacker and receiver.
Actually, I would say like freshman year, I was still trying to, learn more of the game and find myself in a position where I can help the team and, be able to start.
Mhm.
I was pretty average. I wasn't, the greatest athlete in the world, but at a buck 35, buck 40, I guess the only place I could go was either a receiver or a running back. But I had the heart of a lion, so, the
Mhm.
position on defense was linebacker that I really, really enjoyed. And
Okay.
I just, watched a lot of film, watched a lot of other players, that started above me, and just kind of developed my own game over the years, and, kind of, emerged into, playing a little bit better as I went forward, but through those high school years. But I just have a knack. I have a lot of love and respect for that linebacker position. You know what I mean? Love
Mhm.
tackling, stuff in the run, side to side, catching those players. Um, but yeah, I really enjoyed that position there. And wide receiver, but not that you're afraid to get hit, but at times if
Mhm.
you get hit, you're gonna get clocked. And coach always say, "Are you hurt?" Or are you injured? So
Mhm.
and you'd say, yeah, I'm hurt, but I can walk it off and come back. If you're injured, then obviously you can't play. So,
Exactly.
but
Exactly.
yeah, that's from my perspective with that. So.
Okay. So, with your playing or even whatever coaching, management, what were some of the accomplishments you achieved in any sports, football, baseball?
Well, I think one accomplishing just playing, taking that step to actually playing and learning the game. I felt like to me that was an accomplishment. And then, actually, um, working well with others, because that could transition into a lot of life experiences for, young folks and as they continue, down the career path. I just kind of you know, build myself into, being a little bit better than I was the day before or, last month or whatever. But as far as from a management perspective, I just, I read a little bit there with the business side of things. And, I leave the on field, stuff to my partner. And I try to take on those roles on the off field, if you will, and
Hmm.
try to be the best at my position within this business and this team, and try to better ourselves and do some great things, as we continue to move forward. So it's there's some challenges along the way, of course. You know
Hmm.
that, from
Hmm.
semi-pro days. And
Hmm.
I just, kind of, looked at those years as a learning experience, and then taking the time, to reacclimate myself and reposition, and kind of look at some things, from an ownership standpoint into this where we are now. So I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful for the little things. And you know, um, we've accomplished so much in such a short period of time with a
Hmm.
championship in the second year. And here we
Hmm.
are on the verge, of making the playoffs. So there's an opportunity there to actually get another championship, which I've never had the taste of, in playing a little bit of Pop Warner, high school. College, I guess, for them years later with conference championships and championships at that level. Um, but here I'm getting a taste of it now. And I guess, with all those, experiences and, you know, um, just wait patiently until, the time is right. And here we are right now. The time is very, very good and very right. So,
Hmm. Well, you know what? That's a perspective that, first of all, I want to commend you on, because it's one that I never even contemplated or thought about. I mean, you said just going out there every day, working to get better, and then possibly taking some of those skills that you learn on the field and using them in life. That's an accomplishment. And you know what? That is a great accomplishment. I mean, because we as competitors, we as athletes, it's all about being on the field and wins and losses and all that type of stuff. But just going through the process, the journey itself, and then taking what you learned there and transition, I mean, that's an excellent accomplishment. I mean, thank you for sharing that and enlightening me alone. I mean, I know you're probably going to hit some of my listeners, but that's a great accomplishment. I mean, thank you for that, man. I really appreciate that.
absolutely, absolutely, and it goes to that old saying too, the old adage: when you win, you really lose, and you lose, you really win. So you kind of take the good with the bad, and then you learn from it, and then you develop, what it is that you want to accomplish and what you want to, continue to do. And if that's, your passion to do something similar to this or do something else in life, then I would say learn from your mistakes and put a plan together and make it happen, make it work.
Well, in terms of these accomplishments, what do you think has been the greatest accomplishment for you, the biggest accomplishment, if you want, if I can put it that way? I mean, what do you feel is your greatest, accomplishment, whether it's on the field, whether it's in management, or whether it's, in life, that you've taken from being involved with sports?
Well, I think for me, I'm just speaking for
Hmm.
me.
Hmm.
The one thing is having God in your life.
Hmm.
Without Him, obviously, none of this would be at all possible. I mean, for some folks, it seems a little cliche, but He's the center of my life, and I was instilled with that at an early age. So
Hmm.
whatever I do, I'm always, giving praises to Him, regardless if I didn't do it right, if I did it right, or I'm on the verge or the cusp of getting it right, and so on and so forth. I give Him all the praise and glory that I've gotten this far in life. Because obviously, uh, growing up in certain areas and
Hmm.
neighborhoods and things of that nature, some of our folks, our young men, don't see it past the age of 25, 30.
Hmm.
And here I'm going to be 50 within the next 2 months. So I'm grateful for that. And then secondly, you got to have all your ducks in a row. Structure your business correctly. If you're gonna do it solo, make sure you get some good advice and have a board. If you're gonna do it, with a partnership or a group, I would say just to make sure you guys, communicate, very well and share those ideas, because my idea may not be the greatest, but if someone else in my group says, hey, well, maybe we can add to that or pull this out, and then, kind of work collectively and compromise a little bit, you know what I mean, to make it
Hmm.
successful, you know what I mean? So,
Exactly.
those are important points there, when building, a successful, business or anything that you want to do in life, having a game plan and just, following and sticking with that game plan, moving forward. So, um, and you know what? If you enjoy what you're doing, you'll never have to work a day in your life. You've heard that saying, right?
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
I enjoy what I'm doing. I have a great partnership. He's done some great things. Hopefully, you guys will have that conversation on your show in the near
Hmm.
future, and he can share from his perspective. Um, so we both have a lot of items to bring to the table, and it just works well. You know what I mean? I've had partners in
Hmm.
the past that, for whatever reason it didn't work, but
Hmm.
here I am 4 years, plus into this relationship that we have with the Jersey Bearcats and even with the American Arena League, and we'll share that a little bit later on as well. But we've had a great working relationship, and I'm just thankful for the opportunity, especially at this level. You know.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Well, so far, I've been focused mostly on the management side, or coaching, or even the playing side. Has there been any other aspects of sports that you've been involved with? For example, journalism, or in terms of marketing or community relations or anything of that nature. Is there anything else that you've done or been associated with in terms of sports?
Absolutely, everything pretty much that you mentioned, because obviously on this level, in order to get some things done, most of the time you have to do it yourself. But when it helps to have a great program, a winning program at that,
Hmm.
people
Hmm.
that want to get into the business and want to learn from a variety of different perspectives. Especially, we have several students that are interning with us, and
Hmm.
basically, one wants to, learn, more about the inside business, as far as like the operations of it, because it
Hmm.
takes a lot to, put on game day. The
Hmm.
other student that we have is looking at communications and, the behind the scenes of putting on game day as well.
Hmm.
From broadcast and communications perspective. So, thankfully, and I'll give a shout out if I may to
Go
PDF
ahead.
Sports.
Hmm.
PDF Sports has been a great partnership for us for the 2023 season. They open their doors for young men and women that are looking to, get a taste of the industry, and they're the ones that produce and put together our film, our live streaming. For us.
Hmm.
So, shout out to Dave and his crew at PDF Sports, and doing some great things with him. So, I would definitely say, we've been thankful in that regard. So as an owner here, if you will, obviously it helps, with having a partner, and so my partner AJ handles, all the stuff on the field side.
Hmm.
As far as the talent pool that we pull from, and the tryouts and everything pertaining to that. Me, on the other hand, I would do more so off the field. So that's sponsorships. As you know, with sponsorship, that's the backbone of any sports organization to be
Hmm.
successful. So I've had, luckily for me, I've had some great, opportunities in sales and marketing in that regard. Community partnerships. I mean, not having partnerships is really going to doom that organization if you don't have that
Hmm.
partnership in place. Again, that's a heartbeat of the community. So formulating those type of partnerships and getting the community to back you, that goes without saying, because you need folks to come out to the games, and we go to them, because having that type of relationship would be tremendous and increase volumes of a good look for them as well as a good look for us. From a journalistic standpoint,
Hmm.
I do some of the press releases. I'm not the greatest in that respect, but I do pretty good.
Hmm.
I've written some good articles in the past, and as far as managing the overall aspect of the product that we're putting out on the field, I think it's a collective effort. I have a little bit more of the business acumen when it
Hmm.
comes to that, but I always keep my partner involved and care about some of his point of views and some of his ideas as well, and whatever makes sense and whatever's going to produce our product and be successful, then I'm all for it.
Hmm. Okay. Now, earlier you were talking about the importance of sports and the contributions that um, and the lessons that you can learn from sports to transition into your life. Do you feel that they have helped you in your life personally? And what about some of your players? I mean, do you feel that the lessons that sports has taught them so far has helped them in their personal lives?
I mean, from an early standpoint, as coaching, years ago with the younger generation, I really enjoyed that aspect of it, and it helped me as a person, work more with our kids,
Hmm.
um, I'm sure it helped them coming from a variety of different backgrounds. I mean, black and brown, our folks, certain families only had one parent in the household.
Hmm.
Maybe
Hmm.
some didn't have any, parents in the household, and they were brought up by the grandparents or whatever. So, for them, this is an avenue for them to, escape and learn and benefit from in the long run. Because, with any sport, most of the time it's a team aspect. So you're learning a lot of different things as you continue to grow within the sport or all the sports in general. I would say from another standpoint of management, having a great structure around you, having some knowledgeable coaches, and you also want to have those players that are coachable.
Hmm.
Because it's very important. Because if you think you're all world and you don't want to listen to the coaches, first of all, it's a total disrespect. Second of all, you won't be seeing that field as much. And third, you won't benefit from it in the long run because you'll just have a negative aspect of the game because, oh, well, I think I'm all this and all world. And they never gave me the opportunity to express myself. But I think with that being said, I think you would have to, really kind of um, pull that player aside and have that conversation. You know what I mean, and make sure you're communicating well with them, and just kind of giving them a little bit extra because they may not be getting it at home or they may not be getting it at school. So this could be their avenue to kind of sometimes lash out in a good way and get it all out. So now you can start from scratch and start building, and be that type of player with that type of potential. So
Hmm.
I would give it more so if you start at an early age with these kids and these student athletes. I think you may have a better they may have better chances in life than others that may come in late in the game. But I think at this point at the arena level, they're pretty much set in their ways. So they're gonna again take some from here, some from there, different coaching aspects, and so on and so forth. You would like to think majority of them have their whole life together, but if they need that extra push, that's why we're there. You know what I mean? We can talk one on one in confidence, or we can just have a general conversation about life in general and what where you are now as a young adult.
Okay. Okay. Now, any of those players that have been involved with you or your teams that you've been involved with, when they eventually leave on and go on with their lives, whether it's they stop playing or go to another team, whatever the case may be, if they have any level of success, do you feel that you've played a small part in their success, whether it's on the field or off the field of play?
Um, I mean, I'd like to think so in a sense,
Hmm.
but I would want them to look more at their future, having a second or third option in life while playing, because not every person is going to make it to the pros. So you
Hmm.
really got to, check your reality in terms of not everybody's going to make it, but you need to have something to fall back on. And so that's why I
Hmm.
try to tell the kids, like, you can't play forever, but if you want to hang in there and stick with the game, start learning new things, outside of just playing. I mean, because what do you think what these guys, the pros now, are doing after they retire successfully?
Hmm.
You
Hmm.
know what I mean? So,
Hmm.
I tried to get at some of these kids early and say, hey, look, well, while you're in school, look at the possibility of majoring in this or majoring in that. And once you're done, and you hang up the cleats, now you have something to fall back on. You know what I mean? So for
Hmm.
me, it was business. So I had to look at it from that perspective and say, I'm not going to the pros, obviously, so I need to do the next best thing. So for me, I tried to, I applied for a lot of different um, pro sports teams in the region, and I got rejected. And real quick story. So I actually applied to a lot of teams down in the area, and everybody said no, but the Jets had a nice no. But
Hmm.
it killed my spirit. But when I saw that letter with the Jets, I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna still get it and still continue to learn. But my whole point is just having something to fall back on and look outside the industry and look out your sports career, because you never know. You could be the best cameraman, you could be the best, broadcaster, you could be the best commentator, you could, still coach. You could
Hmm.
do general manager duties. You could do daily operations for the team. So there's many, many jobs and many, many opportunities outside of playing that you can do and still stick with sport that you love.
Okay. Have you ever had any of your players come back to you and express their gratitude for their interactions with you?
I mean, we have a few. I mean, from a partner's perspective, maybe because he currently coaches. He's the quarterback coach at Keene University.
Supercar.
So he's coached, some over the years, and he's done well with those guys, and I'm sure some of them, thank him for over the years, and quite possibly, be coaching with him right now.
Hmm.
From my point of view, yeah, very few, but hey, listen, if I can hit one at home,
Hmm. Hmm.
that says a lot, and I'm thankful. You know what I mean? So hopefully we can get some good, folks, from this interview, and they
Hmm.
can take what they will from it. You know what I mean? I'm just a
Hmm.
small cog in the big system, on this level, but whatever I could do to help, the next man or the next woman succeed, and
Hmm.
something like this or in general in life, I'm there. So.
Okay. Now, we've touched bases a little bit on the Bearcats, but we haven't dived really much into it. Tell the audience really about what the Jersey Bearcats arena team, is and what they're all about.
Well, the Jersey Bearcats started a little over 4 years ago, from the mindset of AJ Roque and
Hmm.
myself, Jermaine Sanders. and we wanted to do something different, and bring a different perspective. Because sure, you have these big wielding companies with big money, coming in here and thinking they know everything. And you don't even see too many of those teams around anymore. You know what I
Mm-hmm,
mean?
mm-hmm.
With the AFL, not knocking them. I mean, they're coming back for their third time around.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So, I won't speak on too much of it because I don't know too much of the current information on it. But I believe they're coming back next year. So,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if you're going to have a team in this region anyway. So, so back to the Bearcats for us. We look at it in a couple of ways. So one, we want to build a platform for those players that didn't make it to the next level. So
Mm-hmm.
that's why we kind of formulated the AAL2, which is more pro development.
Mm-hmm.
So the AAL obviously is the AAL on a more bigger platform, pro teams, that sort of thing. So, when we had the opportunity to purchase the league a few years ago, that's what we wanted to plant the seed so that we cover every aspect. So you don't
Mm-hmm.
necessarily, like, for teams that think they know it all, or they say, yeah, we got the money, but then a lot of times you see a lot of these teams fold right
Mm-hmm.
away.
Mm-hmm.
They fold up shop right away. So we want to make it so that teams have a great understanding of what this level of football is all about, having a great structure, having a great plan, at least venues that are playable. Crazy story. So, back in our days with the semi-pro, you had so many teams that popped up. I mean, they're playing in, middle school fields and, parks that were kind of jacked up. But,
Mm-hmm.
we want to have that polished, representation of the team as well as the league. So we want to make sure that their venues are at least playable, and that, you can get an opportunity for fans to come out and check out your product. So we have meetings with those teams on the AL2 to kind of develop those things, or if they already have an idea, at least start preparing them for the next level if they want to make that jump.
Okay. What
You know.
does what does the AAL stand for? Like the NFL is the National Football League. So what is the AAL?
So the AAL is actually the American Arena League.
Okay.
So, if you will, at one point, prior to us, obviously acquiring the league, they were on the level or tier level as like a national arena league,
Mm-hmm.
or the IFL, or the
Mm-hmm.
CIFL, those
Mm-hmm.
leagues.
Mm-hmm.
Since we acquired it, we took a step back. So obviously, COVID played a key part in our development and acquiring it, but we were successful in acquiring it, and then we took off last year, everything with it, including the Bearcats, and we wanted to kind of revamp things and rebrand the name and everything that goes along with it. So you'll see a totally different layout next year, where
Mm-hmm.
we'll have both the AAL, excuse me, and the AAL2.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll see a lot of different quality of players. Some that would probably just play in the AAL2, but at least have an opportunity to reach that next platform of playing for the AAL teams.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then those that say don't make the team on the AAL level, they'll at least have a platform to play on with the AAL too.
Okay.
So kind of like a feeding system, like a minor league
Mm-hmm.
system. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Ladies and gentlemen, just so any of you might be a little bit confused, IFL is the Indoor Football League, and the CIFL, if I'm not mistaken, is the Continental Indoor Football League. If I remember correctly.
I believe so. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So now with your vision and with the plans for the AFL and the AFL two, are these paid leagues for the players? Is the AFL going to be paid and the AFL two just a the development that they can move up to get paid?
Well, at this level, we don't pay the players.
Hmm.
We try to have a vision for them in terms of giving them a little taste of what the pro side would look
Hmm.
like.
Hmm.
So, in terms of them coming in, trying out, um, maybe not even have, if they don't have the equipment, we have the equipment for them. So, right now, we have, helmets. Different things of that sort to assist them, in playing once you're chosen to be on a team. Um, we try to do, our Zoom meetings. We try to do our physical practice. We feed our players, whether it be, pregame meal or postgame meal.
Hmm.
Thanks to our partners, such as, our big partner, the Brownstone Bar and Grill, which is located in Metuchen, New Jersey. That's
Hmm.
a big sponsor that really loves us and supports us. So, and then, when we're on the road, we teach them, a little bit more unification. We have, our T-shirts. We have just to show that we're collectively a team. And then, we have our pregame meals and stuff like that. So, and then traveling and everything. So it really gives them a little feel of what it's like at the pro level. The pro
Hmm.
level, you get everything in the kitchen
Hmm.
sink, if you will, because literally
Hmm.
you'll have like an apartment. In most cases, you are fed by their sponsors. You're paid at that level. Okay.
So, so you're more of the introductory to the professional aspect. So instead of really getting the big, the all the bells and whistles, you're just on a smaller level, building up to it. So I think that's what you're alluding to.
Absolutely. So probably within the next, year or two, we'll be able to compensate, these players. It won't be on a bigger scale, like, tens of thousands of dollars, but at least they'll be compensated for, their talent.
Hmm.
I know of, different teams, at this level, anywhere between 25 and maybe $150 a game you can get, or 200.
Hmm.
Um, Next level, on the AEL side itself, it could be several hundred, per
Hmm.
game, per player. But you just have to have, your budget in place and other things in place before you can commit to that, because you don't want to, overdo it, if you will, and just burn through your budget, because the
Exactly.
budget, if you will, for an average team, I would say on a shoestring budget, and my partner could probably, attest to this. I would say anywhere between 100 and 150,000 to
Hmm.
get through the season. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Fortunately, we've had some great opportunities to, be able to, have seasons, that are successful and bringing a great product to, our fans, the Bearcat Nation, and all. So, I think, on the pro level, obviously, it'll be a whole lot more, and that,
Hmm.
putting that budget together. So, folks can, afford it. They can do thousands of dollars, per player. It changes, it varies. So,
Exactly.
but as for now, the AL2 does not pay their players,
Understood. Understood.
but it's an opportunity to springboard to the next level. You know what I mean? Because
Hmm.
as my partner will say it, he normally would say, "Well, now that we got them, we don't want them because we want them to excel to the next level." And
Hmm.
you're here temporarily. We want you to go. We want you to leave. And fortunate for us, we've had, I would say, anywhere between 16 and 17 players over the last 4 years, make it to the next level. Paid players at that.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
So we've been blessed with that opportunity, and I'm sure it won't stop there. We'll have more, players to come that would, the season isn't over yet, and we're going to be hitting the playoffs pretty soon. Excuse me. So,
Hmm.
you may have some of our players and some players from other teams be, plucked, because there's a couple other leagues that are probably still playing and probably at that halfway point right now. You know what I mean?
Okay. Well, you said you guys are close to the playoffs. I mean, what is your record?
So currently the Bearcats are at 5-1,
Hmm.
in second place, with two regular season games remaining. Both are at home. We play at the Warrenonco Park
Hmm.
in Roselle, New Jersey.
Hmm.
Inside the park, there's an ice skating rink called the Warrenonco Sports Center.
Hmm.
And this is our first year playing, and I got to tell you, it's a great venue. And for those that want to come and check us out, I mean, hey, we would love more members and folks and fans, added to the Bearcat Nation, and hype it
Hmm.
up for the playoffs that are right around the corner. So, with two games left in the season, and the
Hmm.
playoffs are right around the corner. So, we're fortunate to be in that position. We should have been in first place, but that home opener, we had the game pretty much in the bag, but unfortunately, in the last minute or so, we kind of
Hmm.
lost focus, and
Hmm.
we ended up losing 32-34.
Yeah, tough.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a
those
tough loss. So I got a feeling it might be the same two teams. I don't want to be too presumptuous, but it's kind of looking in that direction. But we'll see. We take one game a week. You know what I mean?
the
So
way it's supposed to be. The way it's supposed to
exactly.
be. So I appreciate you. I appreciate that. So, um, when fans come out, what type of experience do they encounter? Whether it's in an interactive, a family friendly type of environment. Oh, exciting! You were talking about hyping up for the players. I mean, is it a lot of music? I mean, what type of an experience are the fans getting when they come out to check out a Bearcat game?
Absolutely. We want them to come out and express themselves and be a part of us, be a part of the excitement, be a part of the family fun atmosphere. I mean, for instance, I mean, for a family of four going to a pro game, NFL game, you're talking hundreds and hundreds of dollars from,
Hmm.
burning gas to get up there to the stadium and parking and all kinds of stuff. Whereas it only takes you minutes, maybe an hour from where you are, depending on where you are, to get
Hmm.
to our venue and watch us play, for less than going to a movie, a family of four. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? And so we charge $12, for adults,
Hmm.
and kids from 7 to 12 are $8.
Hmm.
And we definitely have some group packages aligned with those home games. We've been fortunate enough to have a 5 home game schedule, and around that we developed different theme nights.
Hmm.
So our first game was the oh my goodness, I forgot the first game. Excuse me. So the first game was our man. Well, in any event, last week was first responders.
Hmm.
Before that game was military appreciation night, and our first game was Marvel night. So we
Hmm.
had a special guest, Spider Man and Black Panther, come out. So the
Hmm.
kids really enjoyed that. And so now we have the last 2 home games. So June 3rd will be our Greek night, Greek fraternity and sororities night. So I'm
Hmm.
looking for my fellow Divine Nine members to come out. I'm also a member of Omega Psi Phi. So, any
Hmm.
bros out there, come on through. And all fraternities of different walks of life, brown, yellow, Asian, whatever, come on out. If you're wearing paraphernalia, it'll be a $5 ticket for you. So that'll be, really great, because then we can, probably get them to participate in a couple of different activities, or, just kind of show some love and shout them out. And then our final home game, we have what's called the Bearcat Palooza. So
Hmm.
with any palooza, it's got to be some type of excitement surrounded with that. So it's all about the youth that night, of course. They come in with their football jerseys. It'll be $4 for them, and we're also looking to have a football clinic before that game kicks off on June 10th at 6:30. So we'll have that clinic a few hours before, but we'll have further information within the next few days. So.
Well, it sounds like a lot of exciting times for the Bearcats. I hope fans get a feel for that and definitely, venture out and check out the team, the game, and get involved more because it is a great sport. So I mean, I've watched it and I've been a part of it. I'm part of it years ago, so I can
Mhm.
attest to what you guys are doing. So, and I commend you guys because it is a lot. It's a
Yes.
lot of challenging. Running a team. So, do you find it that it's challenging running the team?
Yeah, with every venture, there's always going to be some type of, obstacles or challenges, but, you look to find a way. I look to find a way. Either I'm going through it, over it, under it. However, you know so for me, I love some challenge. I love great challenges. So, and in this case, is two heads are better than one. Two owners are better
Mhm.
than one right now. And I think we, again, that's a testament to my partner as well. He has that background, professional background of playing and
Mhm.
coaching. And I have a little bit of that, plus a little bit of the business side. So it helped, through those experiences, those tough times during the Cinder days. But now, having some time off and thinking about, going into this venture as far as arena football, I think that's what, helped me where I'm at today, in terms of going through those tough times. And, tough times don't last. So here we are,
Mhm.
and I'm thankful to God. I'm thankful for family. I'm thankful for the supporting, cast around me. And here we are. We have some great talent that are coachable, that are open minded, and that are young and hungry, and want to be successful. So
Okay. Well, if any fans, businesses, they want to get in contact with the organization, how can they reach you guys?
absolutely, they could hit us up, email Jersey Bearcats Arena Football at gmail.com, or info at American Arena league.com. Yes, I'm sorry.
Mhm.
It's
Mhm.
I'm getting them confused a little bit, but we have the AEL, which those businesses, on a national, regional, corporate level, want to support the league, they could do so there at AmericanArenaLeague.com. And on a local level, if there's players or fans that are interested, they can hit us up on the Gmail, or Jersey Bearcats football.com.
Okay. Okay. Do you guys have any other social medias like Facebook or
Absolutely.
Twitter?
Uh, Yeah, absolutely. We have Facebook, we have Instagram, but those are the more active
Hmm.
social
Hmm.
platforms that
Yeah.
that are very active, and we try to interact as well. So you'll see a lot of pictures and a lot of things happening on there. So don't be afraid to introduce yourself, and hopefully we'll see you at the upcoming games. And
Mhm.
we appreciate your support. For those that have been coming out and supporting us the last few years, we appreciate your support and your time. Definitely want to shout out, our Brownstone partnership,
Hmm.
the Bar and Grill from Metuchen, New Jersey. Man, they have some great food over there, and I suggest you check it out as well, man.
All right. Well, in closing, is there anything else you want the audience to know about you or the Jersey Bearcats?
Well, the Bearcats are me. The Bearcats are you. The Bearcats are Bearcat Nation. We're a collective family. I mean, all walks of life. All different age groups. You know, we're all football fans, pretty much. And this is some great football. This is a great time. Um, it's affordable at that. So I'd love
Mhm.
it warms my heart, and again, I don't want to be too cliche, but it warms my heart and it does justice that we can bring such a product to the field or the community for so that it's affordable for a family of four or whatever to come on out and
Mhm.
have some entertainment on a Saturday night. I mean, where else are you going to get that?
Exactly.
You know what I
Exactly.
mean?
So,
So I love and appreciate each and every one of you guys. Yourself, Coach, a tremendous platform you got here, and I know you're doing some great things and more things to come. And I look forward to partnering with you and bringing more excitement to the love of football and those that want to get into football or looking at opportunities and career paths in sports. We do have a great internship program, and you can get credit for it. And who knows? In a couple of years, we'll be able to hire some individuals to work with us.
mhm, mhm, mhm.
Because it's tough. We all wear many hats, so we can use that support down the road and bring in some great great folks down the road and become part of our Bearcat family. So
All right. Well, I thank you for your time today, giving me this great interview. I hope our audience will definitely appreciate what you bring to the table, what the Bearcats bring to the table. And to everyone, all my sponsors, Shadow Worlds Radio, the League of All League Alliance, Get Out Travels, Wise Consultation. Thank you guys for always being there for me. I really appreciate you. To the amazing fan base that I have, to the Read and React fan base. Thank you guys for your support. And you guys know what I say in sports. Make sure you guys turn it on and turn it up. Y'all have a good one. Peace.
peace.